Chris, and this is Tucker Sonic. We're here to talk hi-fi. I'm holding here a Denon DL-301 Mark II. In just a little bit, I'm going to be installing this on my turntable. I got this from Safe & Sound as an open box special, saved myself a little bit of money. They are a Massachusetts-based company, so since I'm here in New England, this thing came basically the next day. After nearly 2.5 years of use, it's finally time to replace my AT150 MLX. The 150 MLX is a moving magnet cartridge. The needle, also known as the cantilever, is connected to magnets, which are right next to a fixed coil of wire. As the magnets move around the wire, the vibrations turn into electromagnetic force, and between 3 to 6 millivolts of music is sent to your system. The DL-301 Mark II is a moving coil cartridge. Instead of the cantilever being connected to magnets, it's connected to a small coil of wire, which moves while the magnet stays in place. This generally results in less than a single millivolt of music. For instance, this Denon only puts out 0.4 millivolts. The MC cartridge's coil attached to the cantilever is lighter than the magnets used in an MM cartridge. With less moving mass, the MC cartridge's cantilever can more accurately pick up the vibrations coming out of the record's grooves. There are downsides though. With moving magnet cartridges, you can swap out the cantilever once the stylus has been run down. With MC cartridges, you can't take the needle off, so it either needs to be retipped, rebuilt, or replaced. Also, because there is so much less power being generated, you need a phono stage that can accommodate that 0.5 millivolt. Denon is a Japanese company that's been around for over 100 years. They started by making audio cylinders, single-sided records, and gramophones. In 1945, their equipment was used to record Emperor Hirohito's surrender on a disc, which was then broadcast to all of Japan. Now, they manufacture a variety of products for music listening and home theater. The DL-301 Mark II. Denon's been making these since 1984. I will definitely miss the 150 MLX's ultra-thin, gold-plated boron cantilever. Also, the 150 MLX has a micro-line stylus, which can reach much deeper into the grooves than the 301 Mark II's special elliptical solid diamond stylus. However, I have since learned that my light mass tone arm does better with a higher compliance cartridge, meaning the suspension inside the cartridge is more adaptable. This Denon cartridge is more compliant than the Audio Technica one. Alrighty then, let's listen to the 150 MLX's Swan Song.
Well, I had to follow you. No, you did not want me to. But that won't stop my loving you. I can't stay away. Living it all on the nights on Broadway.
So that's how the Denon cartridge sounded eventually. I spent a lot of time messing with the VTA, with the impedance loading, the azimuth. What's really cool about the azimuth is the 301 Mark II has a vertical line on the very front of the cartridge, and you're supposed to try to get that line lined up with its reflection on the record. The cartridge also needed a lot of break-in time. When it's brand new, all the suspensions inside are still pretty stiff. It needs a lot of time for that to loosen up so the cantilever can move the way it's supposed to move.
Now in my place, there are so many others. Now in my place, there are so many others.
point, I've had the DL-301 Mark II for a little over a month. There's a lot I absolutely love about it. I feel like it tracks on the record better than the 150 MLX did. I will say that though I am hearing some details on the 301 Mark II I hadn't heard before, I do miss the bigger separation between the instruments on the 150 MLX. Whereas this, it's very dynamic and musically rich, but a little bit more compact. I'd say like rock and jazz, especially jazz where there's very few instruments, sounds much better with the 301 Mark II. But electronic music where there's a whole bunch of layers happening at once, I miss the transparency just a little bit. Most of all, I'm really happy to be in the world of moving coil cartridges, and I have a hard time imagining myself going back. If any of you guys have had experience with moving coil cartridges, please tell me in the comments. I love talking about that kind of stuff. If you'll excuse me, I'm going to listen to some records.